Tony Altomar trained us, and Tony Altomar was tag team partners with Lou Albano, and Tony Altomar knew how to work. He was a great worker in the ring, and he taught us. And therefore, on July 31st, 1984, when he said, come to Poughkeepsie so we can work out in one of Vince's rings. And we went, well, okay, we're going to go work out in one of Vince's, And then by 4:00, he looked at us sitting in the front row ringside in an empty arena, just kind of hanging out, talking to each other. He goes, go downstairs. You guys are working tonight. I went, what?
Wow.
You're working tonight. And I'm like, oh, shit. So, but I always follow up because Big Daddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy gets mad at me if I talk down about myself too much. Obviously, I was there for 8 years. They saw something that they liked. They saw that I was doing a good job, no pun intended, jobber, but they saw that I can work in the ring and I can hold my own. So, as I tell people, there are a lot of men out there that came to TV and they were one and done because they just didn't have the level they were looking for, even as a jobber. Where they got their grandkid on their lap right now, and that one solitary match on YouTube they have, and Pop, you have another one? And no, that's the only one I got, So I was lucky.
How long were you training for before this?
10 months. October of 83, when my senior year just started. And I went to wrestling school Wednesday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Wrestling school on Saturday, this was no 9 to 12. You were there 9 to 4, 9 to 3, 9 to 4. Sundays 8 to noon. Wednesdays there from 6 to 10. So there was no air conditioning in the gym. If you wanted air conditioning, you opened up the back doors and the front doors.
What about the actual business aspect of pro wrestling? What did Tony teach you?
Nothing. Absolutely zero. I'm going to tell you how bad it was. And you know what? Feel free to have AJ Petrucci on. He'll tell you the same thing. When we were training, he said, you guys are friends, so you're sparring. When you turn pro, you're going to have to apply this stuff. Okay. So now there I am, and I go downstairs, and Tony takes me over to Strongbow, which I would have never predicted that this man would be my second father for 28 years. So he goes, kid, this is Chief Jay Strongbow. And, you wanted to look at him and go, no shit. Because, growing up in the 70s, watching Andre and Ivan Putski and the Mighty Igor and Ernie Ladd and Stan Hansen, Stan Stasiak, Mil Mascaris, all these guys I was watching, Bruno, of course. So he goes, this is Chief Jay Strongbow. And he goes, what's your name, kid? I said, Mario Mancini. He goes, what's your name? I said, Leonard Inzateri. I go, what would you like me to do, Mr. Strongbow? He goes, see that chair over there? Sit there and shut up. Keep your mouth shut. I said, okay. So he starts making out the board. I see Valentine, Vancchine, so like machine. So I go, that's got to be me. So I get up and I go, excuse me, Mr. Strongbow? You spelled my name wrong on the board. He said, let me ask something, kid. Do you think it really makes a difference? Do you think it makes a damn of difference that I spelled your name wrong on the board? I go, it does to me. He goes, sit down and shut up. So, okay. So time comes, and he comes walking up to me, and I'm sitting down looking up to him. He goes, and Tony Altomar's standing there. He goes, go talk to Valentine. I go, what the hell do I want to talk to him for, Chief? I'm wrestling him. I go, is this a title match? Is this a title match or a non-title match? Because he was the time. I said, because he's not getting me in that figure 4. No way. No way. he's not getting me in that figure 4 no way. And he went like this to Tony. And Tony's like, talking about keeping kayfabe alive. Holy God.
Wow.
So eventually I stood up and Tony put his arm around me and he said, go talk to Valentine now. So I go walking up to Greg. He's sitting down. He said, yeah, I'm Mario Mancini. I'm wrestling you. He goes, how long you been working? I go, it's my first professional match. And he sounded like Lurch. He went, he goes, how old are you? I said, I just turned 18 years old in June. Oh. He goes,
All
listen to me.
the checks are in the wrong column right now for Greag
Right.
Valentine.
He goes, yeah. He goes, listen to me. When I slap that figure 4 on you, you keep your legs like a wet noodle. If you don't and you keep them stiff, you're going to hurt yourself. I'm not going to hurt you. You'll hurt yourself. And that split second gut feeling, I go, it's a setup. It's a setup. Oh my God, it's a setup. So I thought really quick and I said, can I get a comeback? He goes, absolutely. Without a doubt. I go, I appreciate it. What can I do? He said, after you submit to the figure 4, get off the canvas and come back to the dressing room.
This is
Every
a
time
great story.
I go to a convention and Hammer goes, tell me the story. Tell me. I tell him the same story I told you, and he laughs his ass off. He laugh.
That's
In
great.
fact, when I did a question and answer session in this very intimate setting, like people had to pay a lot of money to come into that session. It was me, Matt Stryker, Harley Race, Tito Santana, Greag Valentine, Davey Boy Smith's wife, and Howard Finkel was the MC. And I told that story, and he actually looked at Greg and he said, is he telling the truth? And Valentine's busting going, he has to be, because I said that to every jobber. I said it all the time. He said, so he has to. Paradise Alley ProfessionalWrestling.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's our 10th year. We're doing that, and we have a podcast, Hey Roma, that's really taken off. We're really balls out on that podcast. It's not just a professional wrestling podcast. We really dedicate it to the military and first responders, ambulance drivers, firefighters, police, military. My father was in World War II. Roma's father was in the Korean War. We have a great love for this country.
Any social media for yourself you want to give out?
Oh, and yeah, everybody's welcome if they want to friend me on Facebook. You just type in Mario Mancini. You'll see my shoot name there. I am the singing wrestler on TikTok. I don't sing that well, but I do have by now 100 videos of me singing on there. I am the singing wrestler on TikTok. I do have an Instagram, although I don't go on it much. I do have a Twitter. I go on that even less. But I'm a Facebook, TikTok guy for as long as we're gonna have TikTok. So I am the singing wrestler on there. And I'm 57 and single.
Slide into Mario's DMs, ladies.